Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of stars, from the tiniest brown dwarfs to the most massive black holes. Stars come in all shapes, sizes, and lifespans, and their fate depends entirely on how much mass they start with. But before we get into that, let's talk about how stars like our sun make energy in the first place. Spoiler alert, it's all about nuclear fusion. Let's break it all down. Let's start with the basics. How do stars like our sun produce energy? The answer lies in a process called nuclear fusion. At the core of the sun, temperatures reach a scorching 15 million degrees Celsius, and pressures are millions of times greater than on Earth. In these extreme conditions, hydrogen atoms collide with so much force that they fuse together to form helium. This process releases a tremendous amount of energy in the form of light and heat. In fact, every second, the sun converts about 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium. That's like turning the weight of a small mountain into pure energy every single second. This energy is what makes stars shine and powers life on Earth. Now let's talk about the smallest stars, brown dwarfs. These cosmic underdogs are too small to sustain nuclear fusion like regular stars, so they're often called failed stars. A brown dwarf is less than 7.5% the mass of our sun. Because they're so small, they're cool and dim, barely glowing in infrared light. They're like the embers of the star world, quietly fading away over billions of years. But how common are they? Well, brown dwarfs are actually pretty rare compared to other stars. They make up only about 1% of all stars in the Milky Way. Think of them as the introverts of the star world. They're there, but you'll hardly notice them. Next up are red dwarf stars, the most common stars in the universe. These stars are still pretty small, less than 50% the mass of our sun. But don't let their size fool you. Red dwarfs are incredibly efficient. They burn their fuel so slowly that they can live for trillions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe. Over time, some red dwarfs may even evolve into blue dwarf stars, a hypothetical stage where they heat up as they age. Red dwarfs are everywhere. They make up a whopping 70 to 80% of all stars in the Milky Way. That's right, the vast majority of stars are red dwarfs. They're like the quiet neighbors who never move out, always there, just chilling for trillions of years. Now let's talk about regular stars, like our sun. These stars are less than 8 times the mass of our sun and live for about 10 billion years. They spend most of their lives burning hydrogen into helium in their cores through nuclear fusion. But when they run out of fuel, things get interesting. They expand into red giants, swelling to hundreds of times their original size. Eventually, they shed their outer layers, leaving behind a dense core called a white dwarf. White dwarfs are incredibly dense. A teaspoon of their material would weigh as much as an elephant. Stars like our sun are less common than red dwarfs, making up about 10 to 15% of all stars in the Milky Way. They're like the popular kids in school, not as common as the red dwarfs, but definitely more noticeable. But what about the big guys? Stars that are 8 to 25 times the mass of our sun live fast and die young. They burn through their fuel in just millions of years, ending their lives in a spectacular supernova explosion. This explosion is so bright that it can outshine an entire galaxy. After the explosion, if the remaining core is between 1.4 and 3 times the mass of our sun, it collapses into a neutron star. Neutron stars are mind-bogglingly dense. A single sugar cube of neutron star material would weigh about 1 billion tons on Earth. These massive stars are rare, making up only about 1% of all stars in the Milky Way. They're like the rock stars of the universe. They live fast, die young, and leave behind a legendary legacy. And finally, the most extreme stars, those with more than 25 times the mass of our sun. These giants live very short lives, ending in a supernova so powerful that the core collapses into a black hole. For a black hole to form, the remaining core must be at least 3 times the mass of our sun. Black holes are regions of space-time where gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. They're like cosmic vacuum cleaners, pulling in everything that gets too close. These supermassive stars are incredibly rare, making up less than 0.1% of all stars in the Milky Way. They're the ultimate divas of the cosmos, rare, mysterious, and absolutely terrifying. Now, let's have some fun with star facts. Did you know that if you could stand on the surface of a neutron star, you'd be crushed into a puddle of atoms faster than you can say supernova? Or that red dwarfs are so efficient, they'll still be shining long after the universe has forgotten about us? And let's not forget black holes. They're like the ultimate cosmic trash compactors. Even light can't escape their gravitational pull, which makes them the ultimate introverts. They just suck everything in and never let go. Stars are the building blocks of the universe, and their life cycles are as diverse as they are fascinating. From the tiny brown dwarfs to the massive black holes, each star tells a unique story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more space content. Let me know in the comments which star's life cycle fascinates you the most. Is it the long-lived red dwarfs or the explosive supernovas? Or maybe you're a fan of the mysterious black holes? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.